Hello. If you're new here, welcome. I'm decided to do a live tonight, rather randomly and abruptly, but well, kind of. I thought about doing this earlier today because I need to start making this more of a regular thing. So it's Monday today, Monday the September the 8th, and I need to get things kind of ramped up and going with this channel. I've been yakking about it for so long, but everyone seems to know my story. I've talked about it constantly, that every time I do something, every time I plan something, I plan to start doing something with this channel. I can't even lay anything out anymore and make any kind of calendar arrangement for my time. I have no time management skills because I can't start something without something else dropping out of the sky and landing on it. So I try to begin a project and my phone starts ringing off the hook and I get called into work and I get a friend calls up and says, "Hey, I'm like 10 minutes from your house. We're going to go do this thing." And then he's driven all like 2 hours to get here. And then you feel kind of obligated to partake whatever it is they're doing. But I need to actually really start to put an effort into this channel. And I think starting this week and moving forward, I'm really going to see if I can try and make an effort and see what comes crashing out of the sky in my lap. So I'm scared something's going to happen. Something usually does. And the harder I try to make an effort, the larger the boulders are that come crashing out of the sky in my lap. But hello, Travis. Hey, nice that you could make it. Thank you so much. You know what's funny? I opened up and Mala, hi, how are you? I always have it open on my phone here because I use what's it called? Talk Studio, because it's cheaper than StreamYard. Talk Studio is owned by Streamlabs, and they are sort of like OBS, and but Talk Studio is a bit cheaper, and I used to recommend them all the time, but lately I've been having some issues with it, and now I can't recommend them as much until they sort their crap out. But I'm using it tonight, and I should actually hopefully be set up properly here on 1080p. It should be all good. I usually kind of come on and I do some drawing and I yak about crap in my life that's going on. I wanted to try something new recently. I wanted to try doing live streaming, going outside and going for walks and doing streams. There's a guy in Toronto. I think he's under the name Johnny Strides. And he kind of inspired me. I had this idea. where he just goes out with his selfie stick, or no, he's actually got a gimbal. Sorry, he comes out with his gimbal and his phone set up, and he goes live or records just walking around Toronto and talking to people. And apparently the guy's like doing really, really well. He's become super popular, and he's making some bucks at it too. And I thought that might actually be a good idea, just to get out and walk around Burlington and show some of the city and just chat. It'll give me an excuse to get off my duff and go for a walk and maybe lose a bit of weight. And of course, the first night I went out for that, there was no viewers, which shouldn't really surprise me. I didn't have anyone watching. But also, I found that the night that I went out, normally Burlington's a really nice city, and we don't have any issues. But it was Friday night, and there was college students out, and they were, I don't know, the city for the most part shuts down by about 10 or 11 o'clock, except for the pubs, and then you get all the drunk college students out. And then I went down to the park and the pier, because it's usually a bit quieter down there. It's a lovely park, and we have a lighthouse, this neon lighthouse that all lights up. And I thought, oh, that might be cool to get the lighthouse. For some reason, it was unplugged. It wasn't on for whatever reason. And there was a woman that was, just as I was kind of recording and trying to talk, this woman who was coming from behind me, by the way, and she's like, don't film me. I don't want to be filmed. Oh, for Christ's sake. So I kind of got frustrated, and I gave up at that point, and I came home. So anyways, so maybe I'll try that again later at another point. I don't know. But I thought it would be fun to try it, and it would be, as long as I don't get weird people outside around me. So, but anyways, I thought I would try and do some drawing tonight. I found out it is actually Star Trek Day apparently today, which is coincidental because I just came off of a Star Trek scene. My friend Dave and Mala and Travis, who are in the chat, are members there, and we hop on every Monday night and we talk Trek. We talk about episodes, and then since Strange New Worlds is running right now, we've been going week by week, discussing it, and it's been a good time. We have some chuckles and laughs, and we kind of talk about the episode, and we have a lot of people in there. So happy Star Trek Day. Yeah. So, but I thought I'd kind of open something up here and try and do some kind of drawing if I can. And I did want to chat a little bit. It's kind of hard to when in that stream, there's like 7 people that came in that, and it was everyone kind of has thoughts on it, and the conversation can kind of get sidetracked a lot, and it's sort of hard to jump in. And I'm not one I hate cutting people off. It's just me. I part of the reason I don't kind of jump in too often is I feel like I'm cutting off someone else's thought, and I hate doing that. And so I generally kind of wait till there's like an opening, and it never really happens. And so I don't know. I kind of thought I could maybe kind of if I can't kind of chat about it there, maybe I can kind of yak about it here. And I don't know, maybe if I can open this up. I don't know if anyone still feels like talking a bit more about it. I've got Mala and I got Travis here. If you guys want to chat, I can still kind of draw, and I can have you guys kind of in the screen underneath. I'll show you how this is set up here in just one moment, if I can get my screen going. Let me get what drawing program shall I use today? I have about 5 or 6 drawing programs, and I talk about them a lot, the ones that I like to use. I think Clip Studio is kind of the easiest one to what's that? Canada, Star Trek debuted 2 days in Canada before it came on the US. Yes, that is true. A bit of Canadian history. When the very, very first Star Trek episode aired, it actually aired in Canada 2 days sooner than it did in the United States. We got lucky, I guess. And I guess it just has to do with the time the contracts carry, because we in Canada, we have these sort of secondary channels. I shouldn't say secondary channels. We have our Canadian channels, CTV, CBC, and sometimes they carry American programming, and they make contracts and deals and want it to carry American. Sometimes they broadcast them at the same time. It used to frustrate me because their timing was way off. So if we would be watching an American show, like let's say, back in the 80s, we'd watch, Simon and Simon was a big favorite, one of my mom's. And when it would broadcast, we might maybe if it, especially in the 70s and 80s when we had the antennas, if we weren't getting a really clear signal, we knew we could put it on CTV and it would be carrying it. It would be piggybacking on CTV, and we get a clear signal. We could watch it there, but their timing was always off. And so sometimes it would cut off right at the end of the show because CTV could never get their timing properly. So it used to piss us off. But sometimes they get a contract for a show and run it themselves separately. They did that with Doctor Who when Doctor Who started back in 2005, when it restarted, I should say, in 2005. We were getting episodes on Space Imagination Station when that used to exist. We were getting it there before they were getting it in the UK. So we got lucky in that respect that and they were mad about that. Why are they getting it in Canada first? And it was just the timing of the contract and where they could fit it in their time slot. And so we happened to have it a night or two before. And I guess that's the same thing that happened in Star Trek, I think, was that they had the contract to air it on either CTV or CBC. And whoops, I've got Clip Studio starting up and it's overlapping it. But let me get this set up, and maybe we'll bring Travis in. And if anyone else is well, I've only got 3 people in here, but if anyone comes in and they want to talk about Star Trek, and see if we can add people in if they'd like, and I'll put up a link. And just give me just a few minutes to set this up, and we'll go from there. Add cam. I did that. I need to share the screen. It's better if I share the screen than the window, because then I get the whole thing in there. Okay, that's not the arrangement I want, but I can fix that in just a moment. Because there's too much stuff around the outside. I lost a viewer. I can also do this across the top, and I can actually have people in the bottom, but I think I can only oh, I've got extra participants. Okay, so give me a moment and I'll get the link. Add guest, copy link. I just click that actually. Can I just put that in the chat? I don't know if I can just put that in the chat or if maybe not. It's there anyways. So if somebody wants to join in, click on that, let me know, and I'll bring you in, and we can chat a little bit more about it and talk about Strange New Worlds latest episode, because I've been really enjoying Strange New Worlds a lot. It's been one of my favorite shows lately. But the last couple of episodes I've been mixed on. There's been some really great stuff that I really enjoyed, because every episode I've fully enjoyed. But last week's was just frustrating for me, and I kind of thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about that. Travis, if you feel like talking a little bit more about it, feel free. Let's see what I can open up and draw here. Wish I could. I need a third screen now for reference. I have 2 screens, and now I'm realizing I might even need a third one. Does that link work? If that link doesn't work, let me know. It should do. Just to add a guest. If somebody decides to come in. Because I might be able to kind of do this, and then we can just put people across the top. I'll put it on this for now. Oh, give me a moment. Yeah, absolutely. Take your time. I'm going to set something up here. I should go grab my iPad. So give me just a moment. It's an 8x10. I'm right here. I might have to use my iPad as like another reference. Look at this. I need to get a haircut. I've been letting this grow out because barbers have started charging like $40 for a friggin' haircut, and I am not paying $40. I used to find students who would be who were training to be haircutters, and you'd find them on Kijiji, and they'd be saying, "Hey, looking for I'm learning to get a free haircut or half price haircut or $10 haircuts or something like that for a student who's training." And usually they do a really good job. If they're in training, they just need practice, right? So I'm not looking for I'm not looking for a super professional job. I just I just need a cut. And so it's been getting way too long. I used to have it long. I used to have it tied back. I used to look like a bloody hippie, and I loved it at the time. But I'm too old for it. 7. And hey, here comes Travis. Everyone, welcome to the show. Our Star Trek connoisseur. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. I'm all right.
I think Marla now is gonna be joining us because I was still in backstage and everything else. And I said I'm gonna be going because I'm gonna jump over and chat with Phil for a little bit.
Sure. Okay. I kind of like to keep drawing here, so I'm going to I'll go with this arrangement for now. I like to do a drawing stream with it at least, anyway. So, but I'll see how this works. Are you on a mobile device, or are you on like a computer?
I'm on my laptop. Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, it just broke up for a second.
I said I'm on my laptop.
Laptop. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see what I can do here with this. I'm just going to see if I can open up. I need a third monitor now.
You're going to be like Tyson because Tyson has I think he's got 2 or 3 monitors himself for when they get back for when the DT 2.0 starts.
I like to, I guess that's all right. We'll see which one works better. If Mala comes in, this one might be better. I have one monitor that is like my drawing tablet. That's the one I actually draw directly on. That's the screen that you're looking at here. And then the other monitor is what I've got, what I have Streamlabs open on. And so, but if I want some reference material and I've got this open, I got the one I'm drawing on, I need some kind of drawing reference or an image to kind of look at. I need another monitor to do that, so it's not interfering with anything.
Yeah, totally get it. Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I came in a little bit late on. I was listening in. I kind of had some things I was working on at the same time, and also it gets a little bit busy. I know it's hard to kind of jump in anyways. So I know when it's there's all these people going at once, and it's hard to.
Yes, it's hard to keep that coordination because you don't know who's going to talk next and stuff, and it's like me and Dave talked about that before. Anytime we kind of get sidetracked, I try to circle it back around and bring it back to this show, the Technically Trek show and stuff about a particular episode. And just keep things on track and stuff and everything because we can get technically off track, but
really?
It's all fun and good. It's all the fun and games and stuff, I mean.
Oh sure, but I know it is really easy to get off topic really quick.
Oh yeah, we certainly have been known for that and everything. But if we really into invest because the episode that we talked about tonight, it just to me it wasn't it just wasn't a really best ringing episode for the season and stuff and everything else. And it was okay, she the helmsman of the Enterprise went on a away mission on her own, end up crashing on a planet, went through wormhole, crashed on a planet, all this stuff. And you can't, like you said, you even said it best yourself. You knew where all this was going to lead. And I was like, yeah, I knew all it. I did not know that the Metrons was going to be part of, this particular episode. I'm like, wow. Here, when that happened, I was like, okay, there's another twist to this,
It's funny because as the episode was progressing, I'd watch and she landed on the planet with the Gorn, and then the first thing was I remember the episode with Darmok, and then as I'm watching the episode and I'm thinking, this is kind of like this is like a twist on that episode with TOS where he's on the planet with Captain Kirk, except this time they're helping each other instead of fighting. The Metron's going to show up at this. It's going to show up. The glittery gay boy is going to appear on the side of the hill and start. He's going to.
I did not think about that.
Guaranteed. By the way, if anyone's watching this in rerun and they haven't seen it, there's Star Trek fans and they watch the show but haven't seen the episode, massive spoilers are coming. Be warned.
Exactly, massive spoiler. Yeah, massive spoilers. Oh my goodness! But
But yeah, I
it's
knew
all
that
right.
was coming.
Yeah, and I heard your opening monologue too yourself when you talked about today is Star Trek Day, and you mentioned that 2 days it debuted in Canada 2 days before it debuted here in the U.S., which is something I didn't not know until Dave actually mentioned it.
Yeah, I had heard that ages ago and I'd forgotten all about it until Dave mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. It was too, because that's happened a few times where we've had shows on Star Trek and as I was saying, Doctor Who as well. We when that started in 2005, we were getting the episodes a couple of days earlier, and it's just the way I think the contracts work with our television program, and whether it's an American producer or British producer, whoever's making the show. However the contracts work, and it's just our broadcast date. So somehow we wound up getting it just a day or two early, and I guess they didn't think it was that big of a deal.
You mentioned Doctor Who. It's so funny. When I was a kid, I remember my father used to watch the 1980s or 70s Doctor Who or whatever back then, way back then.
My mom did, yeah.
I remember. I asked my father, what kind of show is this? He said, it's called Doctor Who. I watched it with him. And it was like, but I did not know it's got this huge cult following,
Oh yeah, just like Star Trek, it had its own cult following.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I appreciate, the older Doctor Who, because I remember that Doctor Who back then and stuff, but I mean, I never been a Doctor Who fan, but I don't have any ills about it and stuff. It just never took off on me.
Yeah, no, I get it. Sometimes there's only so much.
Are you drawing a Gorn?
I am, yeah. Instead of a cartoon Gorn.
I love it. I was like, what is he drawing? I just trying to figure out, but then I was like, wait, does this look like this is a Gorn? It's much. I think the Gorn is much more not easier, but more appealing to draw than the Metron.
Yeah, it'd be more fun to do the Gorn here tonight, since it's kind of that was kind of the theme of that episode.
Yes, a female Gorn. It's like,
yeah, oh yeah.
I meant to ask, how do you tell the males and females apart? Are they like sharks, where the females are bigger than the males? When it comes.
That's a good question, considering they're lizards. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure, because she even made a random guess. Didn't she even mention that in the show? She was wondering, like, how do they know? Yeah, which sex it is. That's I
mean, because you're like, you don't want to sound like specious or anything, but you'd be like, y'all look alike.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I guess there's ways. I mean, it's just like any.
I'm loving this Gorn.
Oh. I'm giving a big toothy grin. I don't know if you noticed, I actually went to, I think I've mentioned it before. I used to be in animation. I went to school for it, and I worked briefly at, little side note here. I used to, hi, Katie, thank you.
Katie.
Katie's there in the chat.
Mala, if you're here, and Zach.
If anyone else here, please say hello. But yeah, I used to work in animation, and I worked at a place called Nelvana, which was in downtown Toronto. And I worked a little bit doing a little bit of in-betweening on Babar the Elephant, and then I worked in layout for drawing a blank on the name of the show, the one with the bear, Rupert the Bear.
Rupert the Bear.
Oh, she has her sound turned off, but no. Hey, she has her sound down, but no, but she's watching. Yeah, so Rupert the Bear, I used to work on for. I worked there for about a year, and it was kind of. It used to be kind of the big animation studio in Toronto, because we worked on a lot. Like, it did a lot of big Saturday morning cartoon shows. I mean, it did. They did like the Beetlejuice cartoon, and as I said, Babar was a big one they did. All that came out of Nelvana. They did a lot. They did the movie, a couple of features, Rock and Rule, Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
The infamous Star Wars holiday special. There was a little animated segment with Boba Fett. That was all done at Nelvana. So they're known for doing a lot, and they sadly now they haven't really done much with animation in the last few years. They just were our offices that contracted out, but it officially shut its doors and closed for good, unfortunately. So they just announced that recently that it was. I mean, I knew it was coming eventually, but yeah, sadly. So that was kind of an end to the animation industry in Toronto, which is kind of sad to hear.
I'm just amazed that, I mean, wow. I did not know that. Thank you for, telling me some little fun facts about that, I mean.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of where I got my start and everything, so.
And that's cool, and a lot of, artists like yourself, you'd be surprised. Like, I knew somebody who worked at a friend of mine told me that he had a friend who worked at Disney in Orlando, Florida, as like, somebody who doing what you doing and stuff and everything else. Right. They worked under, their, like the ones that are the big name wigs and stuff and everything else, but they they worked in the animation department or drawing department or whatever you want to say for a good long while and stuff, and they end up getting laid off or something. But this person told me that his buddy really enjoy what like what you're doing and stuff, because they had come up with like different types of concept arts and stuff and drawings and things that that they would think about using for potential upcoming. This was like in the late 90s, because he was telling me he was telling me that his buddy he who was in college, but he was working for them, and he was like telling me that, oh my goodness, it was pretty fun, because they used to do hand drawing arts and stuff.
Yeah.
Before they got into the whole computer and stuff and everything. But he was saying it was a different style back in the 80s, not 80s, but the 90s, I should say.
Yes, can I show this? Yeah, I can. Yeah, I did. When I worked on Babar, it was just for a short time. I just did in-betweening. And I wasn't very good at in-between. I didn't really like it. It's very monotonous. And so I was trying to change departments. And it's funny that how many people now have such fond memories of that show. But yeah, it drove me crazy, because in-betweening, I don't know if you know what in-betweening is, but it's kind of straightforward in the name. But the animator does all the key poses, and then you get those poses, and as an in-betweener, we just put the drawings. We have to fill in the drawings in between what the animator draws. But it's very, very monotonous, and you're doing these subtle, especially if something's moving slowly, there are these subtle little changes in the drawing. And I mean, there's certain art to it, because if something's moving and turning, you have to know how to do rotations and that kind of thing. So, but it was really monotonous. So when I switched over to layout, when that ended, and then they needed more layout artists on Rupert the Bear. I jumped on that because it was a nice change. I love doing layouts. Layouts is basically where you draw the background and you show where the path of action of animation is going to go through the background. You indicate anything like match lines if a character has to go behind something. You indicate any camera moves. You're kind of in control of that scene, and it's I really loved it. That was a great job. It's a shame that didn't last for very long, but
Yeah, that sounds
anyway,
like.
sorry, that's the topic.
Mm-mm. But drawings like this, it makes you appreciate, the little finer things of art.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the little things, because like me, when I grew up in the days, because I'm a late 70s baby, and I grew up through the 80s and stuff. And the animation that I've seen, it was hand drawn. And of course, the hand drawn, it takes very, very long time and stuff and everything else. And it had a style where it doesn't match up with today. Like okay, let me give you an example.
True, it doesn't.
Shoot, what's that one? Shoot, I can't even think of it and everything. The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid that came out back in the early 90s and stuff. Hand drawn and everything else. The Lion King. Was Lion King hand drawn?
Oh yeah, yep. The last one that actually kind of stopped being hand drawn wasn't until there was what was the one with the bear, Brother Bear, and the one the Frog Prince.
Yes.
Those were the last two that were hand-drawn.
Oh. The Frog Prince. Oh,
And then
talk about
Chicken Little and Toy Story and Chicken Little became like the first ones to be computer animated.
Yeah. And you see a lot of that. Yeah, I mean, in the last, I could say only 25 years, I just look at like, okay, Shrek, the movie Shrek when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie. It was a cute little fun movie. Happy Feet. But I could tell it was a different type of animation versus the one that I grew up with versus the, I wouldn't say CGI type, but like, more. And it was like, I look at that, I'm like, I don't have no ill wills to it, but it's like, I just feel a little nostalgic for hand drawing art that came along, because it just shows you how Disney up until somewhere in the early 2000s, they transitioned from the hand drawing to now you got computer and stuff and everything else.
If you ever get a chance to, I don't know if you have Netflix, look for a Christmas movie actually called Klaus, Klaus, and it's hand-drawn animation, but it is sort of post-computerized a little bit, where they kind of remove the lines, but they use a certain kind of coloring. So it's a bit weird, where it looks like it moves and is animated by hand, and you can tell that, but it's been colorized by computers, so it gives it a little bit of three-dimensionality, but it's a bit of grit to it, and it's really, really nice. They did an incredible job with it. So if you ever get a chance to see Klaus, it's a good story. Like, you can tell they really spent some time on the story beforehand, and just beautifully animated.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll look that up right now and see. What was it? They said Klaus.
Klaus, Klaus. It's sort of a Santa Claus story, but it's so well done.
Okay.
2D animation supremacy. I do too, Dylan. I can appreciate CGI films, and like The Incredibles was one of my favorites that came out of Pixar. I love that film, but yeah, I'll always hold a spot for 2D animation, and they've been talking about giving it a comeback for ages, but
I mean, I remember. There was Disney had an animated movie called Atlantis. I remember that.
Oh yes, yep. Because that was
You
2D.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, the Princess and the Bride or the Princess and the Frog. I remember that.
Princess Frog. That was the last one that was 2D animated.
Okay, Princess and the Frog.
Yeah. That's a really nice looking movie too. I always kind of liked that one.
Yeah, I like that movie. It was it. I think the alligator is the thing that got me. Is like, okay, you think it's
Yeah.
a bad alligator, but the alligator cracked me up the whole time.
God, it's been so many years since I've seen it. I'll have to kind of look for that again. Sorry, just trying to pick out a decent pen. I should go with this one. Has a little bit of roughness to it, but can give me a decent clean line. I'm sorry, we got sort of jumped off there. I did want to talk a little bit more about that Star Trek episode.
Yeah, yeah, I love to talk, more Star Trek episodes.
Because because like I was saying, I when as I was watching it, like as I said, I kind of had a feeling where the story was going to go, and you kind of know that poor Gorn is not going to make it. That poor Gorn is not going to make it to the end of this episode. Something's going to happen to it.
I kind of I was thinking the same thing, but I was kind of hoping for the best, just because it'd be like, this would be a peace offering in a sense for Starfleet, but as soon as it walked out of their shelter, boom, Lamont just opened fire.
I
It's just like,
Yeah,
wow.
and the funny thing was, I remember as I was watching the episode, I thought this is going to go one of two ways, because the original TOS episode, it survived, and then the Metrons took it away, and they asked Kirk, "Says you want us to kill it?" And he was like, "No, don't. That won't be necessary." And there's hope for you after all. Then, so knowing that, I had a feeling it was going to die. But when when Ortega had the plan to set off that big explosion, I thought it was going to die saving her life. I thought, okay, that explosion is going to go off, and it's going to either one of two things is going to happen. Either it's going to die in that explosion trying to save her life, or they're going to come down. Somebody's going to beam down to rescue her and go, Gorn, and shoot it and kill it. And I was kind of hoping they wouldn't go with that option. And when they did, I was kind of a little pissed off. I was like, why did you do that? Why did you go?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was kind of
It's
frustrated
like,
at that moment.
yeah. Like, oh my goodness. Why indeed?
So, and then the Metron shows up, and they have their little conversation about what's going on, and I thought, okay, obviously because in the original series they said there's hope for you, so at this point I figure they're probably still not going to be impressed, because now they just shot the Gorn, and so I figured, okay, so right now they're probably not going to. I don't know. I you knew that it had to be a setup for them to come back, and but I didn't expect it to say, "Oh, and we're going to wipe your memory too." I was like, "What? Why do that?" Like, I know they can't really. There can't really be anything known about the Metrons because it surprises Kirk. He had never heard of them. But I thought, man, all they have to do is just have it say, like, you can't, like, don't tell anyone about this, and just that's all
Like,
you can't say anything, or else I'd be like, I ain't saying nothing, and just keep her mouth shut about but they just they went, no, we're going to wipe out your memory. And I thought, why even bother with that moment then if she's never going to remember this? Oh, that was the other thing that frustrated me.
Yeah, indeed. And Dylan, that's pretty cool because that was one of my that's kind of one of my favorite Disney movies too.
Oh, what?
Back in the day as well.
Oh, The Frog Prince. Yeah, that is a nice looking film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it just like I said, this episode it had its ups and then it has its like like you mentioned, it has its like okay, wait, what? And just the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it was to me, it wasn't the strongest episode. It wasn't an Ortega episode. What Katie she desperately wanted it on Ortega's episode,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's the
It
second
looked
end of
beautiful. The effects in that episode were gorgeous. Like the look
oh
of the planet and the sun, it looked like movie quality effects.
oh
Like just
absolutely.
yeah, it was gorgeous to look at. So in that respect, I thought it's been one of the nicest looking episodes I've seen in a while. It just
The visuals are really good.
yeah. The way they depicted the Gorn, some of that was practical. What they did with that Gorn, some of that was I noticed was a bit of puppet work in there, and I thought, oh, interesting. This isn't all CGI.
You know what? That's a type of art that I have missed of course, Hollywood has
Yeah.
transitioned from puppeteers and stuff and everything else. Even Disney have, transitioned and stuff. But like, one of my favorite movies of growing up of all time was called The Never Ending Story.
Mm-hmm. That's a great movie.
And
Yep.
the puppetry, the stuff and everything, it's like the practical effects. You
Yeah.
have practical effects and stuff and everything else. And to me, it has like I love this. Oh, I love this. This gore that you draw is really I'm liking it right there.
I had to blow up just to get some of the detail in the face, but yeah.
I'm loving it. But yeah, the when you talk about the puppet, like like animatronics and stuff and everything, I'm like, that's kind of something I like missing in like because it's easy to have CGI and everything and stuff, and it makes it you could if it's CGI done well, you can't tell. But if CGI doesn't work, and she says she Katie's like the swap. The CGI doesn't work and stuff, but like when it
Yeah.
comes to the like puppetry and stuff and everything, the animatronics and stuff, a lot of movies that like not a lot of movies, but quite a bit of movies from like the 80s I remember. I think it was called A Dark Crystal or something.
Oh wow, yeah.
Or something like
I thought that was an amazing film when I was a kid. I didn't see it until it came out on VHS, but yeah, I love that. That was Jim Henson.
yeah. I mean, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, here's something. A movie called Little Shop of Horror.
Oh yeah, yeah. Again, Jim Henson. Yeah, yep.
Little Shop of Horror.
That was great.
I mean the songs. I love the songs in it, but like when that plant started talking, I was when
That
I
was
was a kid. I was just
directed by Frank Oz.
yes.
That film, yeah, yeah. Who did Miss Piggy and Froggy the Bear? Yeah, because I knew there was definitely a connection to that, and I couldn't. But yeah, that's a great. I haven't seen some of these films in years, but the physical puppetry in that. Do you know? I remember we didn't see it until it was on video.
Dylan.
I gotta fix that nose on there. Do you remember it's kind of a gross movie, but The Thing?
The Thing. Oh, The
John
Thing.
The Thing. And I remember one of the things that everyone talked about was all the practical effects in it, that all that goriness and the creature and all that was all done physically. And then they did that 2011 remake where they said they were going to use physical effects, and they ended up using a lot of CGI in it. It was basically almost the same movie all over again. I don't think anybody really remembers that one, but it's what a difference though. Like you when you see, I mean, it's 2011, so effects were still a bit early, but it kind of didn't have the same gore and ickiness and didn't make the same impact that the original one did. When you know there's real actors on a physical set with all that stuff. Yeah, it just was
right about that. Oh goodness, it just makes me feel nostalgic because I look back at movies from at least how movies were 50 years ago versus now, and how far the arts has came when it's drawing or animatronics or practical effects. Because you remember in Star Trek, they used to use models.
Bye, Mala.
Mala.
Dave's here.
And Dave's here too. Oh, okay. Dave. The old gang, Star Trek DT family. Or
yeah, that's your stomach's got to be ready for that one.
Oh yeah. Some of the you look back and you just think, wow, what did they do? They did some crazy stuff. Like I remember,
I'm sorry, I didn't forget. She's here. She doesn't.
I refuse to watch the Never Ending Story now. Why? I love everybody in chat, and it's like, join us.
Yeah. Did I just spoil it?
The Never Ending Story. It was such a really good. That's one of my top favorite movie.
It is a nice looking movie. Yeah.
Katie.
Oh, Jesse, it traumatized me. It can be as a kid. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. The horse scene. I forgot about that. Oh yeah.
You know what? I never looked at that. I always just asked it because I never thought about. I remember seeing the horse, but it never traumatized me. All I thought about was how cool it was for seeing a big old rock giant and the flying luck dragon. I always thought about just when I watched a movie and stuff like that. I never teared up about anything like that. It just never, I never looked at it in that way. And I'm like, you know what? That is sad. But as a kid, when I was a kid, I just didn't look at it in a sad way. I just look at it was, oh well, the horse is gone. Let's get to the main creature and the luck dragon.
Oh well, sorry, horse. Let's go. I wasn't as affected because I knew they were going to bring it back. I had a feeling that I knew they were going to. They were actually going to bring the horse back. Okay, he's not dead. Something's going to happen. They're going to bring him back. So. I'll put the link back up if anybody wants to join. Oh, there we go. We got Katie. Can I get everybody across the top? There we go.
Hello. I love that smile.
I'm gonna post this on Facebook when it's done. I'll probably color it and I'll post it when it's finished.
He's making a Gorn for Lower Decks. He's making a Lower Decks.
Oh yes, I would also snuggle Falco Mala.
He's making a Gorn to chase Boiler.
Oh no, I'm loving the Gorn drawing.
You say, Katie?
I'm loving the Gorn drawing.
I might. I wonder if when this is done, maybe I can. If it turns out nice enough, maybe I'll keep working on it. I might put it on a shirt or something.
Yes.
I'd wear that on a t-shirt.
Would you? All right, maybe I'll do that. If it, I'll keep working on this one. That might. Did I ever show you? Actually, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to see if I can find something here. My Doctor Who. Give me just one moment.
I like the turtleneck. See, look, he got a Gorn, Katie, that's wearing a turtleneck. Now, what do you think about a turtleneck on a Gorn?
I think it's very fetching. And I think as well that if the Gorn was to be made as scary looking as possible, with the turtleneck, it'd be like scarily creepy. I'd wear that on a t-shirt just to check it.
I'm just going to show something for just a quick moment here. I did this Doctor Who shirt. I had this idea. I'll blow this up for just a moment, then I'll put it back. But this, if Doctor Who turned into a cat, if his regeneration made him into a cat.
Oh, wow. I want that T-shirt. I don't like Doctor Who, but I love that T-shirt.
So I'm going to get a series of these made up. I drew this ages and ages ago, and with the intention of actually making some of these. So I'm going to try for 2026 to kind of get am I aware of that?
Oh, absolutely.
Dave, you're with that drawing, yeah. So that's something I'm going to work on for next year to get.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, I can work on this as a shirt. I just need to kind of fix them up a little bit. But yeah, I am.
Yeah, I mean, when I kind of start seeing him drawing this, Katie, I was like, where is he going with this? And then I was like, okay, it's a Gorn. But he's not gonna make it like a Gorn he's gonna make it like a kind of scary but not too scary Gorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I it's adorable. It really is. There again, I'm probably the only person in the world that thinks that a baby Gorn is adorable. I'd snuggle one of them.
A baby Gorn. Even though they eat you or whatever they do, they attack you. I would buy and wear that. Mala. I remember that drawing from Dave. Oh. Yeah.
Well, I've got a series of drawings I think I'm going to start putting on some merch. Eventually, I think this is the year for me to start getting some of my work put out to the world, and I'll get some of this stuff made up on merch.
That'd be good.
I know Redbubble is shutting down, and their shirts were never very good quality, anyways. But I need to find something that has a little bit better quality than Redbubble. So.
Yes, Dylan. Yes, that is a great example. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who Dylan is, but hi.
Walking commercial. All right, fair enough, Mala.
She really would as well.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And she really does work for Hugs. Just FYI, people. Hugs are life.
Mala helped me move, actually. When I had to move, she come down and helped take some of my stuff here, actually. So my moving.
Right, you told me that.
Wouldn't be so expensive, but yeah, that was a big help to have her come do that. Yeah, it is, Dylan. It's shutting down. Their stuff was not the best quality, and I think people just stopped buying from them after a while. So they're kind of shutting down.
I thought they'd already shut down, in all honesty.
Yeah, I had too, actually. And then when I heard that, I thought, oh, I guess they're still somewhat in business, but yeah, it's not lasting long.
What is Redbubble?
Oh, I guess they're like a merch shop. You can
It's
set
like
up
an unofficial merch shop.
Yeah.
You can get all sorts.
So if you needed a business stuff made up, if you have artwork you want to make printed on anything like phone cases, T-shirts, hats, aprons, anything. There's all kinds of shops like them though. Redbubble is just one of many, but you upload your work and yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I get it. There's a company here in the US called 4Print, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, probably same idea. Because now it couldn't compete anymore either. There's a lot of what's the big one now? Printify, I think, is the big one.
Yeah.
So, and they have way better quality. Vistaprint's good too.
Do Mono and Tyson DT do they have their own like little print like a merchandise type of thing, Katie, if I'm not mistaken?
There are a couple of things. Just give me 1 second.
I remember seeing Tyson with a Dangerous Thoughts cup, a mug, for
just
print.
a minute.
Yes, Dave. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Dave,
right,
do
next.
Right.
The products. There's no products on it at the moment, apart from DTTV stickers. But that there will be some more eventually.
Okay. I'm just so fascinated by this growing.
I'm kind of excited for this to be finished.
Oh, it looked like there was a different language written on that.
Language?
Yeah, on that little thing across the gun's teeth, it looked the pattern. It actually looks like some form of language.
Oh, I think it was what it was. Let me see if I can get it back again. No, it was just options for the when you do a selection. Let's see a lasso. So if I do a selection, it's just different symbols for things you can do with the selection.
Yeah, in all honesty, at first glance, when I looked at it, I thought it was Estonian.
It does almost. Yeah, it's almost like hieroglyphics.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a very big geek.
Oh, no worries.
And I'm also like very tired as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I swear this look like something that will come out of Lower Decks. It looked like something like a type of Goran subspecies or something out of Lower Decks. A Goran with a turtleneck. I love it.
I'm going by a drawing. If you look at the, it almost looks like a turtleneck, but I'm going by a drawing from TOS, and it has this colorful thing, but it wraps around the neck and then comes down the front. I'm just widening it to make it look almost a little bit more like a little more turtleneck-ish.
You get it, Dave. Oh, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna have to be up early myself. I got to go to work at 11.
It's nice of you to pop in, man. I'm glad you stopped by.
Yeah.
Actually, that side's a little hard.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'll be able to stay because it's nearly 5 a.m. here.
I was gonna say it's so late, but it's nice of you to pop in, though. I'm glad you did.
So am I. That drawing's adorable.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, like I said, if you put it on a t-shirt, I mean, some of us will wear it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do a little more work with it, clean up a few areas on it, and I'll definitely I'll definitely have that set up as a shirt. The only thing that's really difficult though.
You know how there's like little caption bubbles coming out of his mouth or something like that? It'd be something if you have little catchphrases or something, puny humans.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna lay my eggs, propel to get inseminated or something, or just like a little thing with like a little bubble.
Yeah.
Be like, I would feast on you.
Look like.
Say what, Katie?
What the Gorn look like as Borg.
Oh, if a Borg took it. A Borg Gorn.
You could do like a Borg Gorn and then the.
I never even thought about that.
You will eliminate resistance is futile. Instead of you will be assimilated.
Assimilated and eaten.
The question is, would the Borg even see them as worthy of assimilation?
I don't know.
Because they have to be appealing.
To see what would happen. You know,
I sketched it in Inking It in Clip Studio. There he is.
wouldn't it be interesting though, Marla? Borg gone. I mean, you know, that'd just be, you know,
Whoops.
that'd be amazing.
Oh wow.
Maybe I'll have to do 2 versions of this then. I'll do another one because it can just easily do overlays on this. I could probably put some.
I see where you're going with this because it was from the one where Captain Kirk fought. Kind of the one that you seen that Kirk fought, and there's somebody in that big old practical suit.
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah.
Marla is so crazy.
Gorb. It sounds like a Swedish band.
Oh, a Swedish band. I never thought about that. Oh, that's hilarious. Man, oh man. Yeah, I'm liking this drawing. See, we did not know this about you, Phil. I mean, I knew you said that you you know, you did some art stuff, but like nothing like this.
Oh yeah, this is well, this is kind of why I have this channel, I guess. I wow, I got 10 people watching. I used to
Hello everybody.
Cool.
Welcome to Phil's channel.
After I worked at Nelvana and I didn't get I couldn't get back in for a while because they kind of go contract to contract, and I tried to get back. Rupert had kind of ended for a while, and I couldn't get back in. I had a hell of a time. So the next thing I did was doing caricatures. We have a theme park here called Ontario Place, and it's sadly actually just shut down. They're revamping it. I don't know. They're doing something horrible with it. I don't know, but it used to be this wonderful place to take your family, and it was an amazing. I have so many fond memories of my folks taking there. So I worked there in 2001, and I did. There was a company called Caricatures Unlimited, and they had people spread out all over the park, and I used to do caricatures. So it was kind of an excuse for me to keep drawing, even though I wasn't in animation. But I had a hard time with it at first, but I came to actually really enjoy it. And so that was kind of my other thing, was doing caricatures for a long time.
How long have you been drawing?
I used to tell people I think I came out of the womb sketching. I've been drawing since I can remember. Relatives gave me coloring books and just paper and pencils. I remember at like 6 or 7 years old, lying in front of the TV, just drawing with pencils and crayon. I was going to do commercial art. I wanted to get into filmmaking somehow, because I was also big into movies, and I thought maybe I would do something with special effects and designing stuff and designing creatures, etc. And there was nowhere that really taught that, but not far from me was Sheridan College in Oakville, which is right near where I lived, and they had a huge animation program. I mean, there was Sheridan and there was CalArts in California, and those were the big two in North America that trained animators. And I thought, it just seemed appropriate. So, and I just kind of went from there. So I took art all through school, right through until my favorite drawing. Oh, so I do love watercolor. I used to really, as much as I really still enjoy penciling, I'm terrible at inking, but I've really been spoiled working on a digital tablet like this. I do like to watercolor though. I haven't watercolored in a long time. I did this on a stream a few nights ago when I used to do backgrounds.
That's nice.
Like this.
Yeah,
And,
that's really nice.
I love watercolor. I'd love to actually pick it up and go back to it again. I think that's probably, but I've been spoiled with digital. I've kind of been enjoying it because you can fix mistakes. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I think all kids should draw. I think kids when they're young, you should give them blank sheets of paper and pencils, and don't give them coloring books. Get them like pencils and crayons, and get them to like draw stuff in front of them. Get them to just draw real stuff. Draw it yourself. If you're watching cartoons on TV, try and draw the cartoons. I always think you let them kind of learn what it is they're drawing. I mean, I was given a bunch.
Creativity.
Hmm?
You have kids to find their creativity spot because
Yeah.
you never know if your child has the ability to see things that you couldn't see.
Oh, sure, exactly. And it's very expressive. Like it's very it's a great way for kids to express themselves, and even if they never become formal artists, I still think it's a great way for kids to explore life and to, instead of give a color book that has a drawing of a tree, the bottom's brown, the top's green, give them a piece of paper, learn how to draw that tree, learn what makes that tree a tree. What are if you look up close, is it brown? Is there different bits of color in there? What are you looking at? And I think that's, I've always heard
there was a guy named Bob Ross, and he did painting and stuff. And Bob Ross used to, me and friends, we didn't never really tell other friends, but we used to sit down, we just to watch his programming, where it's just so funny how he talked, but then he'll mix stuff up with just some of the most simplest tools of a painter, and he'll turn something into a type of like a beautiful art, and we'd be like, oh man, I didn't expect him to go that way. That looks really good. I would like to have that to hang up in my house and stuff and everything else. But yeah, Bob Ross,
amazing.
you know,
He really was. Yeah, his stuff. I used to love watching his show. It was so therapeutic just to put it on, and
the way he talked,
Yeah.
Oh, I used to watch The Joy of Painting all the time.
Mm.
I absolutely loved that, and I actually used to recreate his artwork in watercolor.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
yeah. Because as I said, up until I was 14, I could draw anything to life. And I got top grades in art at school. I would travel on the train, see family during school vacation time. Sit and draw people, and like if there was this deaf family and they had a hearing dog, and I'd hand them the drawings when they got off, and I could draw really quickly, and then I don't even know what happened. I did homework to school the next day, and I had my art lesson, and and it's a very thick piece of art, but it's the side profile of a gentleman in a bowler hat, and we had to recreate that. We had to draw, and it was a very simplistic drawing. The week before, we did the sunflowers, the famous sunflower piece of artwork by, I think it is, or was it? I can't even remember who does it now. I'm very tired.
Van Gogh.
Yeah, the sunflowers, and I
love Van Gogh.
I drew that. I got top marks for it, and I couldn't even do this simplistic drawing. And after that, I could not draw again, and I've never been able to draw again, and I don't know what happened.
Have you ever thought of sitting down and just getting a pencil and quietly just trying?
And I just nothing. I have tried so many times. I've tried doing blind drawing. I've tried meditating beforehand. I've you know, and it just absolutely nothing. And I just don't know what happened. But I don't think that art was my vocation.
That's right.
I really
Yeah.
don't. I've gone into writing instead. So, you know, I think,
Mm.
you know, but I do miss drawing because I loved watercolor. There used to be a TV show across here in England called Watercolor Challenge. And
Oh, yeah.
there was like a small group of people from go to different locations around the country, and they would each like if they had to draw a cathedral, they would different places around the cathedral and they would draw it, and then they would sketch it and then they would do it in watercolor, and then obviously there was a winner and there was like 6 to go through, and I
Sketching is-
absolutely loved that. Yeah, I used to love that. But yeah, it just went.
This is maybe tracing might help. I don't know.
I mean, I can trace absolutely fine, but I've gone down that route and just it doesn't stick with me.
Dave, that I really enjoyed that animated cartoon series. I really did.
That was a good series. The Gargoyles, and half the bloody voice cast was all TNG.
Wasn't Captain Janeway? Wasn't Kate McGrew part of them too?
Yeah, because the first one that caught my attention was Jonathan Frakes.
Yes, Jonathan Frakes was. Oh, he was the billionaire guy.
Marina Sirtis was the evil gargoyle or gargoyless.
Yes, Jonathan Frakes, Marina Sirtis. I know Kate McGrew.
Yeah, yep. There was like all these Star Trek people that did voices in gargoyles. That was a hugely popular series. They were talking about trying to bring it back too, so it'd be nice to see.
I heard they were trying to do a live action, didn't they? When they talked about a live action,
they did talk about it. I know they talked about it for a long time. I'm sort of glad they didn't, because it was just it worked so well as an animated series, but.
Yeah, Dave, yeah, those names. Yes.
They're more. Yeah. It is really good, and you can still find it. I think on Disney Plus. You could probably still
Disney
get
Plus.
Mora. Yeah,
Disney
that
Plus.
was the character's name.
Yes. Yes, that was such a big, there was a show too in the 90s. It was a cartoon series. It was called Where in the World Was Carmen Sandiego? I don't know if anybody ever heard that, but it was a cartoon series based on a kids TV show based on a criminal mastermind who stole, like world famous type of thing. And it was called Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? It was like a game, but then it turned into like a cartoon series, which you can find actually, I think, on Tubi, because I have seen it and everything. But I was just very impressed.
What's happened to the camera?
Huh? Well,
did I just lose internet? There we go.
I didn't know what happened to the cameras then.
Everyone froze. I was like, "This is trippy. What just happened?"
I was like, "What's going on here?" I was just talking about Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and then boom, I'm like, "Did Carmen Sandiego steal our internet?"
Well, unfortunately, I am going to have to get going. I was actually about to say I'm going to have to try and get some sleep. But it was really nice to be on here. I will try and catch you again.
Thank you so much for popping in. It's nice to have you on here. Yeah, I'll
I
try and do it earlier next time so it's not so late.
No, I can't see the finished drawing, and I love you both so much. And night and sweet dreams.
All right. Good night.
Katie,
Take care.
I'm gonna be right behind you here in a few minutes myself.
See you guys.
Thank you. Yes. And yes, you're right, Dylan. Oh, yes. Oh, wow.
Carmen
Yeah.
Sandiego. Oh yeah, that was popular too.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do some. I want to do some lives earlier in the day. Might do some around like in my time about 12 o'clock. So that'll be nice for some of my UK friends to be able to pop on early evening and be able to see some of it. So
Absolutely.
out west it'll be more morning for the people out west. It'll be 9 in the morning. So and Dave, good night to you too, man. Good to see you.
Dave, I'll talk to you later. I'll text you here, in the next couple of days and stuff, but you take care and stuff. Katie, love you. I'm gonna be heading out to Mala. Dylan, it's nice to meet you. I don't know who you are, but
Dylan out too?
Very nice guy.
I know Dylan said he was getting ready for bed soon too. So, but when you guys are all ready, then I'll probably hop down too. But I'm gonna do. I'm definitely gonna take this drawing, and I can't see people's. There we go. So I'm going to take this drawing and definitely do a little bit of re-inking with it, and I'll see if I can clean this up. This is definitely going to become a shirt. I do want to fix a little bit in the teeth and the scarf, but I think this definitely needs to become a shirt.
Mala and Katie both will. They were like, if you make it a shirt, I will wear it.
I'll hold you guys to it. I'll hold you to it.
I love it. I love you too.
Have a good night.
Yes. Be safe, everybody. Have a safe week and all. Yes, I like this. I like the drawing of it because I would say it's not a turtleneck, but it looked like a turtleneck. But I like how that is. But you got the shirt. It like the shirt, but it's like you can see the Gorn ridges on his arms. You can see. I like that. I like that. And then like you said, you're gonna touch up more stuff, but.
Yeah. I'll once it's done, I can definitely clean some of that up a bit. But you learn. I'll definitely have some of those made up for you, Mala. The only thing that's kind of is going to hurt this is unfortunately to use these things. The cost of the shirt, then the printing. I don't really see much. I might see like $2 off a shirt, and I have to charge like $40 for it. So I'm going to feel bad. Like I can sell it, but it's like. And then if there's shipping on it, it ends up being like $40-$50 for a shirt. So I feel like, I hate charging, but unfortunately it's not me that's charging it. That's because I end up seeing like pennies off of it, but I want people to have it. So, but yeah, it's going to end up like being like a stupid price. And that's the only downside to using these things. But if I can find a way to print it, and you want it on a good quality shirt too. That was the thing that hurt Redbubble is the quality of their shirts were really bad. Some of their stuff was nice, but I know everyone complained about their shirts. Their shirts were just awful.
Yeah.
But,
wow. Man, oh man.
You know what? I'll look into that.
Both Katie and Mala, they like, oh, I would love to buy one. If you do make it, sure, I would love to buy it and stuff and everything. And it's something I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be opposed to buying something like this to my Phil. But like you just pointed out about the cost and everything, and then to shipping here in the US, given what's going on with tariffs and other BS
that's
stuff.
The other thing. Oh, that's getting really bad. So
you do understand, us Americans, we are not like what is in Washington, in DC, or
I know.
Not all of us are like that. We love our Canadian neighbors. We love you guys.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I mean, I have some incredible friends in the U.S. that are just like family to me. So it's this right now. I understand is all just political. This is all Trump and all his minions that's doing this. So for us too, we're not holding any ill will right now. We have to shop Canadian. We have to, and I know that's hurting the economy, and it's still dinging us. Our grocery costs have like doubled the last little while. So, and that's more just the grocery company taking advantage of the situation. That's not even the tariffs itself. That's just like these rich people that run the grocery companies doing this.
Same here.
And they're just taking advantage of the situation. So we know, we know, you know, that it's, and we're also kind of like, I had an invite to go to the Godzilla convention in July, and I really wanted to go to that. It's called G-Fest. They hold it every July. And I says,
Where's that at?
I'm scared. What's that?
Where's that at?
Oh, that's in, it's near Chicago.
Oh.
It used to be, is it Arlington Heights? It used to be there for years. I don't know if it's still in Arlington Heights, but it was right near Chicago. And it's been going for 30 years, that convention.
Oh, you know, I just, as an American, you know, there's nothing, there is no saying how deeply horrible, you know, people like myself feel for you guys, our neighbors to the north. How much, you know, we do not condone what this White House has done. You know, we do not condone what Trump is doing to the rest of, not to just your country, but to the rest of the world. I mean, he threw a grenade in the economy as soon as he got back in, economy that was actually working by all other standards of economic, saying it was working. He wanted to throw a grenade into it and then said, I'm gonna basically blow it up and then I can fix it. But then, you know, I'm gonna make sure it's basically America first. It's America first, America only, and it's all about, you know, and stuff and everything. I'm not trying to get too political, but like, you know, I just want to, you know, express how deeply sorry that, you know, you see how, you know, a new government come into power and how they're treating you guys, you know, and we still got 3 more years, and those 3 years can be long, but let me tell you, there will be a political shift in power. We will make sure.
Yeah, the next ones, I can tell, I know that's going to change, and I'm hoping whoever comes in next that we can start fixing things again, because we need, you know, our economy really relied on each other quite a bit, and we need to do that again.
I have heard people say we had a symbiotic relationship. We had a symbiotic relationship with one another and stuff and everything. And each president knew, you know, coming into the White House, what kind of relationship they want with our neighbors to the north, because, you know, there's always been a tradition, you know, how we deal with our northerly neighbors in a friendly and economically satisfying way for both parties to benefit from, not from one extorting the other and stuff, or saying one is exploiting the other and stuff, but one could come into mutual understanding and stuff. But it just pains me. It pains me and stuff.
I mean, whoever comes in next is going to have one hell of a mess to clean up. But I know whoever is going to come in, as long as we can get, you guys can get another Democrat in, then yeah, we can kind of might be able to repair some things. I'm hoping.
Let me tell you, a lot of people down here who really thinks this whole thing that he had with you guys to the north has been so ridiculous and so idiotic and stuff. It's like, why? Whoever thought of picking on Canada is absolutely stupid. This is the stupidest thing. It's like, anybody who picks on Canada, they have to go through us. You know, it's like, you don't pick on Canada unless you want to antagonize the United States. But it's now the United States has been being an antagonist and stuff. And it's like, no, you know, we are friends and stuff like that. We help the Canadians. They help, you know, we protect, you know, we give them, you know, the benefit of saying, look, you know, if you have anything in the world, we know y'all guys can handle yourself, but like, don't be afraid to call on us. We got your back.
Yeah,
We
and
got
I
you.
think we'll restore that again one day. I know that'll come back. It's just, yeah, we don't blame the country. It's a person, and we understand that. The only thing is that for the next little while, we do have to, in order to keep our industries going, we can't keep the same businesses with the U.S. So we're going to have to.
Yeah.
We're looking into making connections with Europe. We're going to have to do some trading elsewhere. Again, we're hoping maybe one day we can bring that back, because especially like our auto industry is very linked with yours. Like
Yep.
especially in Ontario. Ontario, they used to kind of call Detroit North, because we have such we do so much. There's so many auto plants in Ontario. That's a
Yep.
huge part of our economy, are those plants.
I do not. I do not get the logic of what's the purpose of mistreating it. What logic do you have
Yeah.
to, I mean, and Trump has his own reason and logic and everything else, which literally, you think if you ask a Vulcan to look at, this, if we put it in Star Trek terms and stuff, and you propose this to a Vulcan, I think a Vulcan would say, Mr. Trump, your ideas is illogical.
It's illogical. It really is. It's just it's
Vulcan will stack him down with logic to the point where he would turn white through his orange skin.
yeah. But yeah, I don't. This can't last. Like, it obviously, like, can't continue like this, because it's going to eventually crash the U.S. We're going to end up. We're just. I mean, right now we've had to separate. Right, we've had to start building elsewhere to keep ourselves.
I do not blame. You know what? We do not blame you guys. We do not blame you guys for doing what you can to survive because of what this person in the White House has done to the trade relations between our two countries and stuff. And we can't sit here and say, you know what, just, and stuff like that. No, we feel sorry. We feel bad. We understand. A lot of us have no ill wills. The pendulum will swing back to the other way. You just said, it would take a great deal of while to repair all the mistrust and damage to, repair, confidence between, our two governments and stuff and everything else. Because I tell you right now, one of the biggest things that the pendulum, when it swings back to the blue side, I believe if and when that administration come to be, they're going to do everything they can to most likely do repair damage quickly. I mean, quickly. I mean, they're going to want to do repair damage, everything with Canada. And I say go for it, because to me, Canada should be one of the number one top priorities in new administration, and then the European Union and others around the world and stuff and everything else, just so we don't have to have this stuff blow up in our faces again and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things where I'm glad that we can get on and talk about Star Trek, because what we said, what did Mala say earlier? Our real life suck.
Yes.
Mala said real life suck.
True.
And Star Trek is a good outlet. And this drawing, look at this. Look at this. Katie, she would be tripping. She was like, oh my goodness, I want this on a t-shirt. And you're right. Yes.
I will definitely make this available. I just gotta find whoops, no, that's not right. I wanted to find something I'm gonna have to do that in gold. I wanted to make it a little bit glittery, but I don't have a brush that's kind of that's not really.
I was gonna say, we'll like silver color to the to that like neckline, to the neckline.
Yeah, the outfit's gold. The outfit's kind of a gold color, and it has these red designs, these red patches on it. So I was trying to find just something that
Mala, yes, Mala, yes. Oh yes, oh yes. Yeah, that's why we come to these spaces and stuff and everything to get away from really shitty, our shitty, real
Mm.
life and stuff.
I mean, we have. I mean, we know so many people in the U.S. because we've been connected for so long, and we
Yep.
don't
Yep.
we don't like seeing it either, right? Like we yeah, like we're waiting for this to just kind of end.
I told because me and Tyson talked shortly after the election, and I said, is it possible for me to Rip Van Winkle myself for the next, 3.5 years or so? He said, hell, I wish I could.
Yeah.
I said, I just said, Rip Van Winkle, Snow White, something, because I knew I knew what was coming. And it's just like,
Mhm.
we told y'all so. Yeah, yep, Dylan. Oh yeah.
Do you want to know the scary thing is that we could have easily just about have fallen down the same hole because when Trudeau, when Trudeau stepped down, his popularity had dropped, and that all came out of COVID. I don't know. People started having fits about him, and I don't know why. And I know there were some issues. It wasn't perfect. No leader is perfect. But they had a fit, so now they were mad at Trudeau and the Liberals. They wanted to start leading to leaning to conservative, and we had a different conservative leader for a while. Somebody named I just remember his last name was O'Toole, and if they had left him in charge of as the head of the Conservative Party, I could have dealt with that. He was while I'm not a conservative, he would have been a little easier to deal with. But they bumped him out and they brought in this guy. I don't know if you've heard of him, Pierre Poilievre. And he's kind of our Trump in a way. Just as a human being, I can't stand him. It's not even the fact that it's just a conservative, because some conservatives we can kind of deal with. But he's just on a whole different level. And the funny thing is Trump didn't like him, which is funny because I would have thought he would have been right up his alley. But when our election started coming up, we were scared that he was going to come in. I thought, God, everybody's going to go for this guy, and it's just going to trash everything. Because he comes from a rich family. He's all about money, right? And thank God, though, that Carney came in when he did, and people gravitated to Carney because Poilievre was like...
Well, didn't Trump
Mike Johnson
when he would earlier this year it happened? Didn't Trump, and he's still on this, but he hasn't been said in about 3 months or so. Anytime somebody mentioned Canada or something like, or he got with the Prime Minister of Canada, he and I'm like, dude, why are you even mentioning this? Why even saying, oh, y'all should just become the 31st or 51st state? Like, why? You know what? He started talking about all this stuff about like making Canada part of the US and all this other stuff and everything else. And that sent a huge people who were Trump fans in your country realize, I don't think we should be, proud of like this guy in the US because he's talking about annexing, our country and stuff. Not just there, he talk about Greenland too, talking about buying Greenland or swapping Puerto Rico out for Greenland and stuff and everything else. And it's like, you know what? He's actually, elevating, it was the Liberal Party. Was it the Liberal Party?
In Canada, yeah, the Liberals, yeah.
Yeah, he elevated, you guys up because that party in a sense, because it was like y'all was having a rough time, and all of a sudden he started talking all this stuff about buying Canada or making Canada or all this stuff and everything else, and people who were Trump supporters in your country realize, oh yeah, this guy's he is not a friend to Canada. And it really started pushed back
Mhm.
on, oh my goodness, we can't be associated with this clown, you know. We can't be associated with this person who's talking about, you know, and it's just like when I first heard this, I was like, this has got to be a joke. This has got to
Yeah.
be a joke. You know, this man cannot say this out loud and just think that there's not going to be any repercussion for it.
We kind of know why he wants to do that, and it has nothing to do with like making the countries better or anything like that. There's obviously he's got his own personal agenda for this, but I don't think he understands like you can't just buy a country and or take them over and then expect everything's going to be great. Like to understand what the whole process of that involves and why that's not a good idea, why our economies work better separate but working together as friends, and to just completely miss the boat altogether on that.
Well, I had a friend. I have a friend that we was talking about this, and he said he proposed this to me. He said, "Okay, let's put this like this. Let's say this: Canada agrees to be part of the U.S. This is hypothetically. Nobody get mad at me. This is just all hypothetical. This is
I guess
just okay. Canada, y'all become, you know, part of the U.S. and stuff. Y'all get every status that we hear Americans get and everything else, and blah blah blah, constitutional status and everything. Well, there is about 49 million of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm correct, your population is close to
45
million.
Yeah,
Like something in that. And your country intends to be a more liberal country with much liberal ways of looking at things and much ways of, you know, being more open-minded and progressive. If that's the case, you are adding almost 50. I'm just giving this out, like say 30 million registered blue voters
that aren't going to support you. Yeah.
And you know, it's like the pendulum was switched in ways to the blue, you know, just in a way that, you know, the people in the red would not even recover from for many years and stuff and everything, because, you know, the country just added, you know, a lot of people who think and vote blue, just like up north that we do down here too and stuff. That's just hypothetical. My friend was just throwing it hypothetically. I was like, you know what? If that happened and stuff, the Canadians will make sure Republicans will never hold federal federal office in a lot of states and in positions in Washington and stuff and everything. But we were just talking hypothetically. Remember, that's just a hypothetical talking everything else. I'm just saying he would shoot himself in the foot. He will shoot himself and his party in the foot, because, you know, it will swing in such a big way. That's just my take. You know, it's like, why would you want to do that? You just shooting yourself in the foot. You add that many blue. But
well, yeah. Hey, Paul Pate, good friend of mine here. Paul Pate from Michigan, I believe. How you doing, Paul?
Hello, Paul.
We had a bit of
you said he's from Michigan?
I believe he's from Michigan. I think so.
Well, Paul,
correct me if I'm wrong, Paul.
Paul, you from Michigan?
You just came into a little bit of a slightly political discussion, but nothing
and you mentioned that. Well, I was going to say, Paul, if you're from Michigan, my name is Travis. I live in West Virginia. I was actually born in Louisville, Kentucky, but I live in West Virginia. So we're not too far away from each other.
Paul's also an artist. He He's put out some books. He's put out some illustrated books, actually.
Okay.
He's very good. Yeah.
What kind of books?
But they're actually, I don't want to say comic books, not like they're graphic novel style books. He's put out a series of them, actually. He's a very good artist, actually. I wish I had a sample here and I could show you. It's still packed away, unfortunately, because half of my life is still packed. But I sort of met Paul through kind of watching. We have sort of a connection of artists online, and it came when I started watching another fellow named Josh, who's also working on graphic novels, and then some other people came in, and Paul was one of them. We just sort of all connected. We all kind of, whoops, how did that come up? So yeah,
just like how we like how you was able to connect with us through Star Trek, like the Star Trek type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too kind.
Okay.
Well, of course, Paul.
Wow.
Add a bit of life. Adding all the shading into it. I'm not gonna keep it live. I'm gonna have to make a lot of fixes on this. But hey, and Jim Luhan as well. He's another one who's makes cartoons.
Hello, Jim.
Animations. Artcast.
Nice
That's it. Yeah, Dylan comes from there too. Actually, I forgot about that. But
okay.
Quite a crowd going on this tonight. I'm really surprised, actually.
Oh, well, I think I'm your lucky charm. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I can invite you here more often.
You had Dave in here, Mala, Katie came on and stuff. Hey,
it's been a busy night.
Me and a few other people are from another channel, from the Star Trek channel that Phil attends everybody, and he mentioned to us that he has a channel, and we just popped in. I popped in. Katie was on earlier. She's from the UK, and we show support to our friend and stuff. And right now, he's drawing a character from Star Trek that is a creature called a Gorn, and a Gorn is part of the Star Trek. Right now, the Star Trek Strange New World, series, and he's drawing a character from Star Trek. And right now, it is actually a really cool looking stuff. And Katie and Mala is talking about. Well, Mala wants the Doctor Who cat, but Katie wants this on the T-shirt.
Yeah, if I can find oops, why is that not working?
I swear, a little bubble coming out of his mouth with some like funny one-liners or something that you put in the thing. Like,
yeah, I have to think of something kind of catchy that can.
It will be so cool, it would just something that you come up with that will be funny for like a Gorn, like a Klingon. Like if you drew a Klingon in this way, I would say draw a little bubble with a word with a word saying, "You can all suck my ridges."
I am for some reason I'm not getting. I might have to restart the program. Not the stream. The Clip Studio Paint. I might have to restart here because it's not. Oh, what did Paul say? Oh yeah, Paul's color black and gray. I was. I'm going by actually one of the original images from the original series, and it was actually gold with red patterns on it. I was just kind of duplicating the original series. Not you series. Stop that.
I like this. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this because I swear it looked like something out of Lower Decks. It would look like it would look like something that you would find coming out of Lower Decks or something. You know, it would be like jumping out at Boingler.
Okay. I've actually wanted to do something for his stream for a while too, Paul, but I haven't had the time, but I've got an idea for something for him. Oh, thanks, Mala. You know, it's you're in the same time zone. It's 12:30 here. I can be a night owl. I can be like up till 3 a.m. even later. I'm not going to do that tonight, but yeah, I have to learn to start getting to bed sooner. My sleep's been a mess. It's been all over the place. So
I feel you. I feel you. I'm gonna go to bed here soon and stuff because I gotta be. Me and you do share the same time zone. I have to be up probably about 9 because I gotta be at work at 11.
oh my goodness. Okay.
I'll get me enough sleep. I mean, if I can sleep for 6-7 hours, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I'll probably stay up until probably maybe 1:30 or so. But
Okay.
oh my goodness, see, I really liking this. I'm really liking this. You got to say that because I'm liking this. She is gonna love whatever you finish doing with this gore. She is going to love.
Oh, I know she will. I work for scale. Jen.
You guys,
I thought it was how I Godzilla. Yeah, I do a lot of Godzilla word drawings too. I do. I'm still a big Godzilla nerd, so I have.
Who isn't? I mean, come on, giant kaiju. You know, Toho, Godzilla. Yeah. You know, you know what? Let's speak about this. The people who, like before, you know, we had the new age Godzillas coming in where they have CGI and everything else. Let's talk about the people who actually wore the costumes. And you know, on sets and stuff, and then watching, you know, like one of my favorite Godzilla movies from the 1970s is Godzilla versus Megalon, because there was Jagular, and
Jugular.
Let's talk about this Godzilla flying drop kick. Drop kicking Godzilla. I never thought in the day I would ever see Godzilla pull a wrestling move until I saw him suplex King Kong in, you know, the most previous Godzilla and King Kong movie. But Godzilla, you know, flying drop kick.
There was something that happened in the 70s where they started kind of going a little bit. They were kind of pushing it. The original effects guy and director had passed away, and they Tokusutsu, they started kind of getting a bit sillier, but at the same time they were still kind of weirdly entertaining, and you kind of
yes. I mean, as corny as they be, it's still entertaining. There was a movie that came out in the mid to late 80s. It was called Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, I remember that.
It's so corny, but it's still very entertaining. And it's like, how did they even make this movie? But yet, it's one of my guilty pleasures. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I do remember that. And again, all practical effects in that too.
Yes, practical effects. Oh my goodness, those clowns. It you know, you just like, I don't know if I should be scared or should just be laughing just because the way they look.
It creeped me. I was in college too. I remember watching this going, I guess this is a comedy, but it's also like incredibly dark. Like this is
they killed a security guard with a pies. That's how corny. They killed he got dissolved in pies. It was like, is it acid pies? You know, but
couldn't even give an explanation for anything. Like I kept asking, why are they even like why did they take on clowns as well? Like I started like being a little too introspective about the whole thing. But yeah, I remember.
Well, the guy explained. He said one of the guys said this in the movie. I remember this.
Mhm.
He said maybe that's where our fears come from. He said maybe somewhere in the past, aliens the aliens came down to Earth
Oh
and
yeah.
they look like clowns, and that's how humans perceive them to be. But this is what they look like, but we consider them clowns,
Mhm.
and stuff. And he said, but they're just like, in the ancient astronaut type of theory that we just misinterpreted them for being
That makes
circus, like
sense.
what
Yeah.
we think is circus and stuff and everything else. And he mentioned that in the movie, which I thought that's actually a good rational and logical
Explanation
argument
for it.
if
Yeah.
you start thinking about it and stuff and everything else, because somewhere in the past, some aliens that we would think that's clowns, that's what they look like. I just thought it was so funny though.
That makes I don't it's been ages since I've seen it, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's yeah, that makes sense. If you're gonna have clowns, because most kids are usually kind of terrified of clowns.
Yes, I mean there was. I don't know if you remember seeing. There was a movie. It was in 19. It came out in '83. It was called. It was a Stephen King movie. It was
Hmm.
called Poltergeist. It was about Southern California. A family moved into a brand new suburban house.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I love the original Poltergeist. It was '82, and it was Spielberg that made that.
Yes, yes, and they had that like clown sitting, in the chair and stuff. And growing
Yeah.
up, me and my sister and brother, we was like, why would they do that? It was like I don't like. We just didn't like. We just did not like clowns after we seen that, and then throughout we saw the rest of the movie. The clown came alive and grabbed the boy and put him under the bed and stuff, and it's like, nah, that's why we don't like
Exactly.
clowns. Clowns look like that. No, 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 no. Yes, Poltergeist was a good movie, and yes, Dylan. Okay. Yeah.
I gotta see if I can show you something here. I'm having trouble setting it up, but I did want to. Oh, maybe I can do it this way. Never mind. I wanted to show you something, but I'm going to put it over top of the other screen. I'll show you this picture. This is going way back to 1996. This was at a Godzilla convention in 1996. And that's me in there when I was 27, 28. And those guys on either side of me, the catchphrase for that convention was "the men who were Godzilla." And those are the guys who wore the rubber Godzilla suits, and they were the big guests that year. Sadly, they've both passed on, unfortunately. This guy here on this one on my left, on the right here, he was the first one, Hiro Nakajima, and he was the one who wore it from the very first Godzilla 1954 up through to 72. I think it was Godzilla versus Gigan was the last one. And
okay.
This guy did some of the villain monsters. He was like Gigan and the Smog Monster, but he got hired to pick up the Godzilla suit from Godzilla 1985 through what they call the Heisei era, which was Godzilla 85 to Godzilla versus Destroyer. And so they had these two guys as guests. They had them a few times back then, but this was the first year they had them, and it was 1996, Chicago, at the Hilton Hotel, and that was greatest night of my life. Was to meet these two guys, my childhood heroes. So
awesome.
but yeah,
Wow. The actress that was in the Godzilla costume.
Yeah.
Golly, I would give anything to be him too. Oh man, yeah. I mean, golly.
It's so sad that they've both passed on now, unfortunately. Yeah.
Circle of life.
The one guy is still alive who was through the third era, what they call the Millennium era. So Godzilla 2000 through to I want to say, what was the last one there before it all kind of went CGI? Godzilla Final Wars.
Godzilla Final Wars. Okay.
Yeah. So that series in between those two movies, because it's kind of broken into three eras. The first era is called the Showa movies, which is this guy. He did like from the original 54 Godzilla. Now he stopped in 72, but the Showa era went up to the Mecha Godzilla movies of the 70s. He was like the Megalon, all of those were part of what they call the Showa movies, the 50s, 60s, and 70s. From 85 through the 90s, they call that the Heisei era. That's where they kind of tried to bump up the effects, and they kind of gave a whole new series of movies. And after that, the Americanized one they attempted that Tyson was talking about earlier tonight, the Matthew Broderick one, came out. And I think they were so mad about that, they decided they were going to do another one again. And they did Godzilla 2000, or Godzilla Millennium, it's also called.
I remember that one. Yes, I remember that one.
And that started a new string of movies through the early 2000, 2005, 2006, in that era. And then that's when they kind of gave it a bit of a break for a little while, up until 2014, which is when 2014 they let US have another shot at it, but they said we're being a little more involved this time. We don't want the same mistakes made. So so that's why that one was.
I have to say this. The one that came out in the US, the one that was by, I think it was Legendary that produced, and it was Warner Brothers that distributed. That wasn't because they had Bryan Cranston in it for a short bit before he, spoiler alert, he dies.
Yeah,
that was not bad. I enjoyed all the Godzilla before then and stuff like that. But when I remember, I was like, you know what? Okay, y'all lost me in the 1998, Godzilla. But when that first trailer dropped, I was like, at Comic-Con, I think about the year before or so, because they dropped it before the year before.
I remember that, yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, this Godzilla movie is going to be nothing like we've seen as an American produced Godzilla. This is going to be something that's so different,
And it actually ended up being really good. Godzilla Megaguirus, that was the one that followed up Godzilla 2000.
And I'm very impressed that you know your Godzillas. You know your Godzilla movie from the beginning.
Yeah.
To, now and stuff.
Really deep on that thing. Do you know? Actually, did you see -1? Godzilla -1.
No, I haven't got to see that yet. I haven't, but I have heard it is such a very good. It really is. And I told myself I got to sit down and watch that movie.
It's one of the first times I can honestly say where even if they took out Godzilla out of the movie, it is still an amazing movie. It's probably has the strongest characterization, like your main characters. The strongest characters have ever been developed for a Godzilla movie, and how he handled this, just so well done. That's why everybody who's watched it is kind of like teared up at the end, and I won't say anything, but you'll see why when you watch it. Do take an afternoon and watch that. It's not to be confused with Shin Godzilla that came out. That was actually really good too. It's a bit of a bizarre film, and it's a hard one to sit through in some cases, just because there's so much yakking in that. Really visually fantastic. His city attack scene in Shin Godzilla is incredible, but Godzilla -1 though, that's just on a whole different plane. That thing, that's
absolutely.
And when you consider that the effects for that film were done for, I think, less than 15 million American dollars, is all they had to play with. It was like 30 guys that worked on it day and night to get those effects looking the way they did, and that's why they gave them an Academy Award for that. Was just so the amount of effort they put into that to make that work.
Yes, you're right. It's between 10 to 15 million dollars,
Yeah.
and it grossed as over $116 million.
Yeah.
So they made their money back twice
Wonderful.
over for
Yeah.
the budget and stuff and everything, twice or three times over, you could say, for for what they for the cost of the movie and stuff. But yes, absolutely, yes, Dylan, I will be checking that out too. Godzilla -1. I have heard so much good things about that.
And they've actually started shooting the sequel.
Oh, there is a sequel?
There is, yeah. He's there is going to be a sequel to that. And yeah, they've started work on it already.
Okay, okay.
It won't probably be out for about another year and a half to 2 years, probably. But
Yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. You will be.
I figure I'm gonna be in for a treat when I watch this movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Get a nice quiet afternoon where you can kind of turn off the phone and just have a sandwich ready and maybe even a tissue box or something, because it's a bit of a tearjerker too. So yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah, it's.
I was gonna say I was gonna have popcorn, pizza, and
Oh yeah, you can have all that, whatever. Yeah, and just watch it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, but yeah, Phil, I'm gonna be getting off here because I need to go to the restroom, and
Okay.
I
Yeah, I'll
am
do that too.
I am getting a little sleepy here and stuff, and I got a big day ahead of me and whatnot. But it has absolutely been fun.
Yeah, likewise. I'm so glad you came on tonight. I'm probably gonna do the same thing. I think this is done for now, and I'm gonna call it here. Still gonna do a lot more work with that. I got to do some re-inking, but yeah, I'm gonna probably call it quits here. And but I'm so glad you came on tonight, you and Katie and Dylan, everyone here, Mala. It's been nice to have you all on here. One day we'll get everybody on here sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
We support each other. Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
do.
we support our friends.
And I do have I have a bigger following on this one. I do have a second channel called Life with Phil, and the whole reason I started it was to start doing some videos on things that were not art related. And so once in a while, I'm kind of going to be doing some things on that. So maybe eventually I might, if it's going to be Star Trek talk or something else, it might migrate over there. But yeah, but just a heads up, Life with Phil. Go
Life with Phil. Okay, okay. I like the title. Life with Phil, and just the day of the day in the life of Phil, to see what Phil from Toronto is doing.
Started because I wanted to review a washer and a washing machine that I had bought a few years back. It started with that. It was a friggin' 40-minute video I made there, but
about a washing machine, huh?
Yeah. Long story. I'll explain that another time. But
Dylan, it was good meeting you. It was meeting everybody. It was a pleasure and all. Phil, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you for coming on. We'll definitely do this again for sure.
Absolutely. Everybody, as we say on Technically Trek, peace and long life.
Cheers, man. Good night.
Good night.
Everybody else, I'm calling it as well, so I'll say it now. Good night, everyone.